Okay, in this video segment, we are going to begin to look at and explore the possibility of CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and what it is, it's a way that we can add different features to our website. And it's a very easy way, so if we wanted to make a change on 10 pages of a document, we could make it very easily in one place. So what do I mean by that? Let me give a better example of this. Let's say we have a navigation bar, and we're going to take a closer look at the navigation bar in a minute. And we have 10 pages with the same navigation bar. And we decided that we wanted to change the color of our font, or the font that we're using, or the links, or the color that is after we visit it. Well, if we did this in HTML, we'd have to go through each page and change it in our code. Now, what CSS does, it's an external sheet that's attached to our site, and we can change it in one place. As we begin to work with this in the next set of videos, it will begin to make sense. So let's get to work. We come into Window, and we're going to open up our CSS styles. This is the panel where we are going to get this information and where we're going to make these rules. Now, we started with our page properties. Let's go back to our page properties here, and let's actually play around for a minute. Let's actually look at the links, and we can see that we have the link color, okay? And let's actually turn that link color to this. Let's actually put on a rollover, and I'm just going to choose anything here. Let's make our rollover purple. Let's make our visited links green. Why not? And let's make our active links, what color should we choose? One that's going to show up. Why don't we go for this color? And let's hit apply. Okay, so what we're going to have in CSS is we are going to be able to do a little bit more when we go in from the page properties to CSS. So let's go and let's take a look at that. What our CSS styles panel does is it gives us more possibilities. Okay, let's take a look. Here's our CSS styles panel again. We find this under our Windows panel. Now, we know, under our window in the menu bar, we know what panels are open because we see the little check mark. And we're going to really be working quite a bit with properties, CSS styles, and files. And we'll do more, but that's where we really are going to begin. Okay, so when I come to my CSS styles, I can see all of the CSS styles that I have already applied to this page through page properties, but we are going to get even more options when we come into this. All right, so I'm going to double click body, and I can see everything I've done so far. I come to background, and I have actually put in the background. I put in no repeat. By default, Dreamweaver will always repeat. And I want to come to this one. I want to actually choose fix. Now what that means is it's going to create these layers here, and my image is going to stay put and my text will scroll. Now let's actually come and let's actually center this background image. And let's have our background position, let's have it start at the top. Okay, that's always a good thing to do. And this image in the background will always be centered. I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to hit OK. Let's take a minute and let's just take a look at what this looks like. We come into preview in Firefox. We're going to hit save. Up, and now we can see my links, and of course you can change your colors. Now you can see that this image in the background is staying centered, right? Okay, and as I scroll, the image is staying where it is. So this little, we can tell from the top. Let's take a look at what we did with the links. Okay. These are my visited links, and then the D. Now, of course, you can play around with the color because as you begin to look at things, you can see, I can see that green doesn't really, for visited links, it doesn't really work so well. Okay, let's take a look at some other things that we can do in our CSS styles panel. Okay, so why don't we take a look at hovered, and let's actually double click this. Let's open it up, And we can see that we have the color here, okay? And let's actually take off the text decoration. Let's say we don't want it to underline. Now, we can actually add a background, okay? And we could say, okay, we're going to add a background color. And, you know, we're going to make it this color right here. But I can come back now to my type and I could say, you know, if I'm going to make it that color, I might want to make the hover this color. I might want to make it white. I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to hit OK. Let's come in. Let's preview in Firefox. We'll save it again. And we can see as we hover how we have this change right in here. Now, I could also come into my CSS styles panel and I'm going to change the visited color because I can see, you know, that color doesn't really work so well. Okay, so up against this page, I think the color may actually work better if it was a little bit darker per se. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Go for that one. Why not? Now I can also take off this underline, hit apply, OK, and we'll come right here. Okay, and we'll leave it at that. So we can see as we start to get into CSS styles how we can really expand the possibilities, the visual possibilities of our website design. One more time, coming back to our CSS styles panel, we see we can begin with the page properties panel. And I also want to bring your attention to the properties panel because we can hit CSS and work directly from our properties panel to our CSS styles panel. They are related to one another. This is just an intro to CSS styles. Thank you for listening, and more on CSS styles will continue as we move into more videos. Thanks again.